Yeah. Now I'm just looking over the military criminal law. Dismiss these co-conspirators. Yes. They were making deals. Right. Larceny of government property. Mhm. Now, the issue was whether the appellant was denied the Sixth Amendment right to confrontation when the military judge limited cross-examination of a key government witness regarding the possible sentence made under the witness plea agreement. Yeah, I know it's really important to have these witnesses and the plea agreements of the government. Yeah. But let's say that you are going to have me admitted to a mental facility when having the actual evidence that I was in Port Angeles, Washington. Yeah. And a few million emails that prove that I wasn't cyber stalking. Poop. And you don't know the actual identity of the petitioner because she didn't sign the consent receipt of the protection order. Did you have her signature anywhere? Now, I did provide a copy of her social security number, and I did tell Clallam County, well, why don't you look through every document signed? But they are absolutely sure that I was in Brennan, Washington, and I should involuntarily be admitted to a mental facility because they're not going to let me sue them. They're not going to let me have my sons. Oh. Now, just looking at it, yes, the reissuance of the protection order on May 31st. After Heidi had been given approximately 20 days to fill out all the dissolution of marriage paperwork. Yes. Does anybody know the real identity of the petitioner? Have any of you been married to her before, or quite possibly had an intimate relationship with her? And she said, "Well, I'm Heidi Budnick, and we're going to have sex together, and then you'll know who I am." Now, wouldn't it be frustrating to find out that the individuals that you've been having sex with, yes, are not who they say they are? And I know you looked at the ID before, probably had her sign a statement of the actual identity of those that you've been having sex with under oath. Now, for each and every judge and prosecuting attorney and those in the public defender's office that thought they were having sex with my wife, though you had no signature of it. You know, when you don't have a signature on the protection order, yeah, you can't prove if it's the real signature or a forgery. And when you don't allow me to confront the witnesses against me, yes, because you're sure I'm guilty. Okay. I put a little sign here. Yes, this is what I use for a lawsuit. Yes, a lawsuit involving every district attorney of the United States. Their knowledge of this fraud means they're liable. Then there are the FBI agents for the last, 40 years. You remember when you got employed? Give me the application for employment. All of you went through the academy so they could instruct you exactly what the requirements of the law are when arresting those that are accused of crimes. Now, let's say district attorneys, okay. Those that graduated from the academy, it was in the local newspaper that the chief of police had completed the FBI academy for law enforcement. Yeah. But don't ever ask Jason Aveda to use his personal cell phone to call the FBI when your civil rights are being violated because he won't let you do it. I personally did ask the deputy chief of police. Do you remember that, Jason? In the presence of two other officers, that my civil rights are being violated. Oh, I see. Sixth Amendment right. Is that a civil right, a civil liberty, a privilege, or the equal protections of the law? When not knowing the identity at the time, but I thought any officer that has a gold belt buckle, yes, must be that special officer. See, I looked at the three officers before I approached them, and I noticed two of them did not have a gold belt buckle. Pooch. But I would think that very special individual that has the belt of the police department that has the gold belt buckle. Yeah. Knowing what I know about the family, poo-wee. You know, for whatever reason, fish are attracted to gold. Shoosh, shoosh, bring some gold. Now, when I asked them, and I asked you to use your personal phone to call the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and I found out you're a graduate of the FBI Academy, yes, and you denied me the right to call them, yes. It looks like when your police department, I can ask the other two officers that witnessed the conversation, does it seem crazy to not realize that my sons are abducted? Yes. That you arrested me for crimes I didn't commit in Sequim, Washington? Yes. You arrested me for a crime I didn't commit in Brennan, Washington? Oh. You arrested me for a crime I didn't commit in Sequim, Washington in 2012. And then you, as law enforcement, think that, well, I'm not liable. I'm not liable for the enforcement of the laws of the United States. Now, there's what's known as the affirmative waiver of confrontation by the accused will satisfy the Sixth Amendment. Yeah. What are these waivers? The affirmative waiver. Would you waive your right to counsel? Would you waive your right to say anything? Fifth Amendment right. You know, I thought about the Fifth Amendment for those that are oaths. Yes. I think that once you swear that you will support and defend the Constitution, and you go through the FBI's Academy for terrorism, yes, civil rights, yeah, and white collar crime, yeah, and you advertise it in the local newspaper that you are a graduate, yes, it really removes your right to waive your right to self-incrimination. Now, we can look at it. Okay. United States versus McGrath. Government produced the 14-year-old daughter of the accused in a child sex abuse case. Now, the prior statement has residual hearsay. I personally asked the deputy chief of police, the gold belt buckle, to use his personal phone as a graduate of the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Academy of Law Enforcement to call them because my civil rights are being violated. I don't think you can deny any American citizen the right to inform any person in law enforcement of a crime. Now, it's not a false alarm when I send ri.pdf and there's no signature of the petitioner, the protected person. Yeah. It wasn't the sheriff's department that served me. Yes. This signature, is not the same as that signature. Ooch. Ooh, ooh. Do you know the actual identity of the woman known as Heidi Lee Budnick? Do you know who she is? Well, I do know who she is. I was married to her for 10 years. We conceived and gave birth to 5 sons. Do you know where my sons are? Are they still enrolled in the Quilcene School District? They're going to go to school tomorrow. Oh. And you're going to keep them 2 grades behind where they should be at because you're going to refuse to enforce the rights of their father. Is that your plan? You're going to have me appear in court and you're going to continue to exploit and abuse my sons because of your hate crime. Hate crime. Because of the hate crime. You hate me and you hate my sons.